Hello and welcome to the Sweden playthrough. This will be my first playthrough on this channel, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm recording this as I'm playing, so we will start with the decimal process, and I'll walk you through what I'm doing. We're playing as Sweden, and our goal is to take Denmark, Finland, and basically expand. The only mod I have on is a beautiful states mod, which I believe it's what's causing this. I think so. And then I have the DLC active as well. So we will start by, before we unpause, we should start with construction. We'll downscale our navy to reduce the cost. So you can see the cost is 20, we make 22 from everything. Now we can declare our interests. Yeah, I might speed things up a bit. It's better to use our authority to encourage resource here, because we have lots of resource, and resource here as well. We have some resource there as well, so we can encourage that. And encourage industry right here. Eventually, once we start getting industry here, we can switch over. And now we have some leftover authority, which we can use for, do we need any? We could use it for consumption taxes, wine, and well, maybe there's a political movement. No, okay. Let's just use it on consumption tax. Now, regarding diplomacy, we are establishing our interests still. But it's good to have good relations with. It depends on their opinion. So, France. Let's see. Diplomacy. France is protective of us, so we should make them. We should make them happy.
Hello? I love you.
And everyone else, you can just improve relations. Russia will be a rival, so it would be a good idea to make Great Britain, Ottoman Empire, and the US our friends, so they can help us against Russia. So fabric is expensive, which it always is, and I don't believe it's a good idea to expand livestock ranches because they employ lots of farmers and laborers, which is not something that you want because, as you can see here, there's not a lot of productivity, so these jobs don't pay well, they don't hire a lot, and so there's always going to be a shortage of fabric. We can encourage. Yes, we can remove the tariffs on imports, so we can import more of it. And now that is sort of helped with the price. We can also take a loss move. So our income is decreasing because we're using too much bureaucracy. And the tariffs, we're not losing much on these. The only issue is bureaucracy. So here in wherever it's least expensive, so we've got Now, we're not losing much money, but soon it will decrease as the construction increases. We can declare some rivalries here. Now, sometimes you can make Denmark a protectorate without anyone interfering, but as you can see here, Great Britain has a 100 score preference for Denmark, so it's likely that Great Britain would side with Denmark, even though it doesn't say it here in the predictions area. So, can reform our government. Let's see in the laws that would be useful. Public schools are pretty good. We could do colonialism in Sweden. I don't see much benefit in that. It takes up bureaucracy, and we can always just steal the colonies of other nations, or we could just trade. So censorship isn't bad because it gives us authority and helps against political movements, but it's not good for technology. I would take censorship. But let's try public schools for literacy, because the higher literacy we have, the more innovation. This balance is what allows us to increase our military spending. The size of our military, increase our government, and also universities. And it's important to maximize revenue and minimize expenses, unless it's just the scale of the government bureaucracy and military and university. So what I mean by minimizing would be minimizing the cost of paper, clippers, small arms, man of wars, and these. Alright, we can enact something else. Let's enact censorship. So we are approaching our into debt, losing gold reserves. So debt is okay as long as interest isn't too high. Russia wants to guarantee our independence to help them in the war. Yeah, I'm going to decline that just because we don't need their guarantee. So, shortage of tools, and this will start hiring. And there's still more buy orders. That's because our logging camps and iron mines need a lot of tools. And we have logging camps practically everywhere. So I believe we're the highest producer of iron right now. Or, no, we're not. But we are exporting a lot of wood, which is why we have so many logging camps. Let's see. So there's 3 here, 7 here, 6 there, and none there. So it would be useful to have local tooling workshops in these provinces to drive down the price. And for iron, we just expand the iron mines in Sweden because we're encouraging resource. Now the issue is we need to keep an eye on our debts since we don't want to lose interest too much. So we can form an alliance with Prussia soon. But it would be better to have an alliance with France since France has a stronger military. France has the number 5 military. After Austria. So Austria would be a good ally as well. But Austria likes Russia, which is our rival. So we can see now that reinvestments are twice that of new construction, which means that we can effectively double our construction to meet demands for growth. This is sort of how you get your economy to grow and industrialize. So one more in Scotland. And what I plan to do is we can increase our balance through diplomatic pacts, which we can get from puppets. So we will want to turn Norway into a puppet. We could do that peacefully through supporting their regime and accepting them, but well, it seems like they're already on the way to do that because they're dependent on us. So I think that would be a good idea. Let's see. We could offer knowledge sharing, but it reduces our technology spread. And let's see our legitimacy. It's 72, so we can afford to support their regime. Now it's 63, and that will speed up this process. Once we have nationalization, or nationalism, we can puppet them, so they will give us their portion of their balance, which is basically how we will grow. So let's see, we can build one more in Sweden. And now we've finished researching these three. Railways are very good to finish early, to start early as well. So we'll do that. Since it does cost authority for road maintenance. And a throughput buff on these isn't necessary. So we can remove that to increase road maintenance in Scania. Now we can form an alliance with Prussia, but it would be better to have an alliance with France. So we can see if we can increase trade with France. So we can get a trade agreement. And these aren't unproductive trades, it's just that we don't have the bureaucracy to afford it. But it will still help us get a trade agreement, which resolves that issue. So now we can trade in a higher volume with France, which is very helpful for both of our economies. We could already form an alliance with Great Britain, but their military isn't bad. They're just not as strong as France. And we're not building, but our balance has gotten quite low because of interest. So now we're at the issue of paying off our debts. But we can handle it through simply removing a decree and increasing consumption taxes. So There we go. And there we go. Now we can go towards decreasing this interest. It doesn't seem that we're getting closer to acceptance. It's because we are a minor power. So they would not be willing to have an alliance. So I think we'll settle for Britain as our ally. And we could form a defensive pact to prevent France from disliking us. I'll do that. Now we have Prussia, France, and Britain on our side. And we can pretty much take Denmark, I think. Unless things go terribly wrong. Let's see. In the United States, they're cooperative. Alright, let's see. I would like to make them a protectorate, but it doesn't seem that we can. And we could also conquer these states, which is pretty good. And we could conquer these in a different war. I think we might do that. Not sure why I can't. It's probably because they have a higher rank than I do. So, let's see. It doesn't seem that Great Britain or France will join against them. It's possible that Russia might join against us, but without Finland into the war, they can't invade our country. I don't think so. Yeah, I believe this is a war that we can win. We can call our ally. And it doesn't seem that Russia might join the war, but it's unlikely. There we go, and we don't even need Britain into the war, but might as well. War reparations, it would give us 1,000, which is useful. Or we can conquer. So I want Zealand. Yeah, make sure you look at the flags on the left, because if I click any of these, and it's possible that I did already click one of them. Okay, I didn't. That's good. Or I hope I didn't, because if we click this, it will actually transfer it to Norway, which is not good if we win the war. And what else we want is Holstein, and that's all we can get, it seems. Yes. So we get Zealand and Holstein, and there will be left as Strelitz, which we can conquer in a different war. And perhaps it's better to conquer small states like these, since if I turn them into a protectorate, I'm gonna have to go into a war twice. First to turn them into a protectorate, and second to puppet them. And if I want to annex them, that's another one. But as Sweden, if you research pan-nationalism, you can form Scandinavia, which instantly annexes them. But I don't like that because pan-nationalism takes forever to research. So we are very much in the red. It's because we're building. And now this should be a very easy. There it is. And now we've expanded our borders. Just ignore this little province. We can establish this, but I'm not sure if rye farms would be profitable. in our country. So we are building more mines, and we're very much in debt from interest and our building. So it would be best, let's just finish this and stop building. Our GDP has increased. I think it's possible that the government administration buildings, let's see, here, these 4 government administration buildings are causing us trouble with our budget, so it's important to keep an eye out on that. And we do want to incorporate them. So, and instead of expanding our government administration, what I would rather do is just decrease our volume of trade. It will hurt our economy, but we don't want to go too much into debt. We can privatize our buildings for, I think that would be a very good idea. So let's privatize our buildings. So once people can afford them, they will buy it, and that would help pay off our debts. So we've unlocked steel tools, and we also have best in process, so it would be smart to build steel mills. I think this province would be the best area for steel mills. We will use the best milk process, and we will need coal, but we actually already have coal. So once this is built, we can, and this is perfectly in time for motor industries, which also need steel, and we will also need railways for these provinces. Oh, we can add a war goal against radical revolt. What? That's interesting. I think that was just a slight bug. Let's see if they actually need our help. It seems that they will need our help. We will defend. This isn't bad. We can help them defend the front, since we don't want to lose too many of our population for this war. We can try to pass public schools again. It seems we are losing here. We have 55,000 men. Yeah, they just have a lot more soldiers there. Shortage of steel. That should sort itself out. You can't hire. Okay. Now it's fine. We can increase the demand for steel here, just so it has an easier time hiring. Now we'll need more coal. Okay, now we need more steel demand. Alright then. And we don't have any demand for engines. We can use some engines here for ships. Here. Maybe not. Or actually, yes. Since Russia won, now we want to conquer Schwelle, which might bring Russia into the war. But I don't believe Russia will have a border with us. So I think this is fine. We can sway Prussia, but it seems that Great Britain would not join us, even though they're my ally. Interesting. I don't want to give them Holstein. I don't need their help. If no one sides with Schwelle, I won't need their help. That's strange. Hire another. Reckless is fine. So we can build an artillery foundry now. And we already have fertilizers queued up. Yes, they just backed down, so that's good. We can probably just ignore Denmark from now on, since their GDP is now very low, lower than Mecklenburg. So to make our railroads more profitable, since we can't exactly afford to subsidize all of this, we should make coal very cheap. So we'll have to use all the coal we have. So that's another issue, and there is plenty of coal down here, so that would be a good place to conquer and enter into our market. So it is sort of meta to conquer Persia, these very small nations there. And let's not forget to incorporate this. Now we have nationalism, which is very good. We can decrease them to puppets, so now we get 5k from them being our puppets. So we can stop the regime support. We could do this, and I guess we will do that. And now we make 6k from them, and our balance is increased quite a bit. Alright, so now we're at 1850. We've managed to conquer Denmark, and our GDP has increased to 7. Not sure where it started. Let me see. It started at 2.6 million. So that is quite the increase in only a span of 14 years. Standard of living has remained the same. It was at 11. Population has increased from 2.79 to 4.91, which is basically double. Almost double. this doesn't matter too much. It's mostly from Denmark, as you can see. Denmark does not like us. Literacy rate hasn't increased much, and most importantly, our balance has increased quite a bit. But, well, our national revenue, I believe, was 20k when we started, so it's increased by threefold. And also, this is very important, reinvestments, which would improve our economy's building. Our rank is number 6, so we've pretty much, yeah, Prussia has declined quite a bit. I can't even find them here. Number 27, for some reason. But yeah, we're only behind United States, Austria, Russia, France, Great Britain. GDP-wise, we're number 14 GDP. We have higher GDP than Mexico. Pretty decent GDP per capita. I think we're doing alright, but not that great. What happened to Prussia? Their GDP is so low. They decreased from 12.7 to this level. I've never seen that before. So that's all. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.